Hey everybody, sometimes you gotta accept, you know? We might not be ready for Redmore Peaks. Trail 1, beginner level, 3 minutes, 20 seconds or less. You know what we can do? Well, I mean, I leave it up to you, and by up to you, I mean up to what I assume you would want. New trail, explorer level, I think is what we're gonna do. The alternative would be earlier trails, harder objectives. But, I mean, I think, you know, you 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And I think, you know what? We owe it to ourselves to be a little bit more, aggressive is maybe not the right term to use. I do want to say as well, I don't think that, not that anybody out there is like, oh, you stink at this game, this is impossible to watch. There's only 280 people out there on planet Earth that are better than me, for the record, as you've seen on the leaderboards. What was I going to say? Oh, I feel like I need to point out, I don't think it's just physics-driven. You know, like, a game like Descenders is pretty much just physics, if that makes sense. You know, if you encounter... when you encounter an object, I believe it calculates, like, the force and applies it at whatever angle, you know, it hit you or it hit the bicycle, and if it, you know, exceeds a certain threshold, you get knocked off the bicycle and you lose. Feel like in this, there is, like, a force calculation made, but it's also, like, I mean, like, touching a rock doesn't instantly kill you, so obviously there is, like, some physics involved. But I don't believe that you can also just, like, you know, go off of a cliff and then land at the perfect angle and have it not matter. I think you gotta kind of stay within the bounds of the shortcuts as driven, or as, you know, demarcated was the word I was looking for there. It's a little too fancy for the situation. I don't know, I might be wrong. Now that I'm listening to myself, I'm like, this doesn't sound right at all. I might not know what I'm talking about. That's not uncommon for me. There's something about, I judge an extreme sports game like this by the strength of its cars, you know? When you're going super fast and you end up having to change angle really quickly, what's the sense of satisfaction like? And I gotta say, I think we're hitting 8 or 9 out of 10 sense of satisfaction on the carves here. You know, you get a little bit of particle effects. You feel the G-forces through the controller. Makes you feel like you're there. I always thought, like, my enduring memory of SSX Tricky, a game I played probably like 250 hours of, but could not tell you a single character's name, is like being on the ice levels and hearing the sound of the snowboard going over the ice. Oh, speaking of which, Flunk. This is giving me the same vibes. I hope that if you're enjoying this little miniature series here, you might check out Lonely Mountains Downhill for yourself. It's just a fun, it's a game you can play, let your mind wander a bit. You can play at your own speed as well. This is definitely not like a walking simulator. Just because it doesn't have the heavy metal music playing and explosions doesn't mean it's any less metal than Trials. You know what I mean? It's an interesting idea. There are a couple of things. Like, leaderboards are nice, but you can definitely chart, like, a roadmap of you know, what you'd want to see to make this game maybe a little bit more engaging. Not just to a wider audience, but on a deeper level for me as an individual as well. You know, having, like, Trackmania-style multiplayer. See ya. So that you could, you know, see other people's ghosts while you go through the level would also be nice. I get the idea that it's called Lonely Mountain. But at the same time, you know, that's like when your programming assignment is due. Excuse me? It's like when your programming assignment is due in like 2 hours and you don't have time to make it work according to your ideal specifications. So instead, you're just like, you know, it's a RESTful API, but we took out the put request. Why? Because, oh, it's for top secret government stuff, so you shouldn't be able to just freely add anything to the... Back end. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. The metaphor fell completely flat. But multiplayer on, not even like, you know, bumping into people and engaging in like formal races, but just being able to see ghosts, you know, of other people and maybe like be in lobbies with friends of yours while you're going down here. Be a fun time. That's about it, honestly. And then make the challenges a little easier so boomer brains like mine are capable of actually making it work. But it's a very impressive game. I know it might seem ironic that the guy, oh, look at that. Look, those are Vancouver driving skills right there. It might seem a little ironic that the guy who's, you know, if I'm famous for anything, it's, you know, playing the same game 5,000 times. You can do it, brother. That I'm the guy that's advocating. He's done it. For, you know, playing a greater variety of games in a smaller amount of, you know, time for each one. But I really do like that. Help. Oh, come on. Okay, I got an idea. Just hold the brakes, brother. You can make it. I bet we can make it down there. I mean, there's no real pressure right now. You gotta go with the moguls a little bit here. You gotta work with, okay, maybe we'll just take the slightly longer way around. Let's take this cursed path right here. We are super dead. That's a nasty way to go. But I like playing a variety of stuff. You know what it is? When you play a variety of stuff, there's much less pressure. I feel like that's why, also, like at a PAX or something like that, people leave, you know, they've played these demos at PAX and they leave and maybe they buy the game at home. Sometimes the game is extremely good. But sometimes you go, why did I have so much fun with this at PAX? But I'm not having as much fun with it at home. Well, you know, there's something to be said for, like, I thought we had that one, to be honest. What are you doing? I think there's something to be said for a couple of things, one of which is scarcity, you know? The less you have access to something, maybe the more interesting it is, you know, just on like a human level for whatever reason. And then on top of that, help. Those are also like curated demos. But you also, you know, the first time you play something is probably when you tend to like it the most. You need to be a little bit better. You need to be a little bit better. Yeah, like right here is in particular. There you go. You kind of stuck the landing on that one. I'll take it. You do not just, it might surprise you. Driving your bike into the ocean might be fun, a good way to cool off, but at the same time, I don't think it's what we're looking for here on the level of us wanting to, you know, pick up a win, if possible. I think after this, we're going to try some expert level challenges on an easier mountain, because it's dawned on me that despite the hubris, you know, deep in my heart, apparently I'm actually not very good. The game has deceived me with its idyllic vistas and blue birds, and it has made me think that I'm better at it than I am. That is, this hill, you're like, you must be, you know, brain dead. How can you not make it over this hill? The hill pulls you so much more left than you would originally anticipate. That's all. You need a sign there that says keep left. Okay. Don't just drive into the ocean this time. Go around the ocean. There you go. That's a funny looking ocean, I'll admit. But hey, he's done it. Where are we at there? Leaderboard wise. Oh, we have bad connection. Yeah, again, I told you, I don't understand. The connection's been a little bit wonky today. Okay, take me back to Green Island. Ooh, Green Mountain, the Gratterhorn, where everything's easy. It's just a beautiful time. Do we have any beginner? We don't have any beginner challenges. Okay. An expert level challenge. 2 minutes or 30 seconds or less. Easy. My best time is 3 minutes. 2 minutes or less. Unlock paint job. Okay, let's focus on 2:30 for now. Hey, what's a dentist's favorite time of the day? 2:30. How you like that? A little bit of wordplay. I'm a cerebral Let's Player. I'm not like other YouTubers. A lot of word, you know, Shakespeare. I have it on good authority. He likes wordplay. What do you mean liked? What do you mean he's dead? Guys, I just got some terrible news. Apparently, William Shakespeare has died. One of this country's greatest poets and playwrights. A staggering loss for not just me, but for the world. Underappreciated, admittedly. Not a lot of people were familiar with his work, unfortunately. It's very sad. But at least we still have John Lennon. I almost said John Legend. That opens you up to a whole new level of bit weirdness. I think we should not take the trail here and instead take this path. And I should be sprinting, but I didn't have any sprint juice. See ya. It almost worked. Dude, there might be something down there. I'm still gonna check. Take the left side here. What's going on? Is there a path? There's no path. It's just like... It's just a place you go to die? I appreciate a game with secrets. Okay then, keep your secrets. I don't know what's going on over there. But I know that it is not for me to understand, and that's okay. Tide goes in, tide goes out. You can't explain that. So we're looking. We've only got... Yikes. Another 1.5 minutes. If we want to make this work. You can do it. You can definitely not do it. Goodbye. You got to save your sprint here a little. Okay, you know what? Maybe you'll just go over the edge then. You can just stick the landing. He's the greatest gamer in history. He's the greatest at games. Should have done expert level challenges earlier. They're bringing who put that there? They're bringing out all the gamer juice that I keep suppressed because my doctor told me I can't let those impulses out anymore. It's bad for my blood pressure. But what does she know? Yeah, medical school. Okay. Yeah, and I got a degree from Sandwich University. You don't hear me bragging about it. All the time. Okay, probably take the shortcut next time would be a recommendable course of action. Yeah, just go straight into the rocks. What's the worst that could happen? Oh my god, I actually got jump scared by a serene mountain biking game. Now I've seen everything. Okay, 2 minutes. Don't sweat it. You can do it. Hold on. That's the right way. 2 minutes, not gonna happen. Just accept, you know, you're gonna take the L on that one. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I still believe. I like that it takes your best times, as opposed to just, you know, your raw time to complete the level. Means that if you hit a rough patch, you know, if one checkpoint is particularly tough for you, maybe one shortcut's causing you problems, you can still make it happen. So I think we got one more checkpoint and then the end. So I'd like to recharge my sprint juice. Oh, you fool! Don't talk to me. Still think you chart a course through the rocks here. You're going, huh? All right, big man. Let's see you stick it out over the cliffs of Dover. I did not stick it out over the cliffs of Dover. You know what? Hate to get a face full of pine needles. It's like having your head out of the school bus window when you're driving down County Road 6. Every once in a while, you're going to get slapped by some bramble. You didn't have that experience growing up? That one's just me? Okay. Bit surprising. Thought that was something every kid could relate to. Apparently not. Okay, there you go. I know you're winded, kid. Just keep it up. You're doing great. You got 15 seconds to get down to the bottom of the hill. I see the exit. You got 10 seconds. Recharge the juice. We've done it. We've done it. What do we get? The bike part. That's exactly what I wanted. I couldn't ask for more. That seemed like an appropriate level of difficulty. To beat it in 2 minutes, that's going to be a tricky one. Just being honest. Hold on. We do have beginner level. No, sorry. Take me back. Don't we have beginner level? No, we don't. Okay, never mind. I'm a fool. Well, I guess we'll try one more expert on the Wandering Woods. 215, 13 crashes, 155 or less. We're never going to get a bike part. Or we're never going to get the bike, I should say. And you know what? That's good. I want to, instill in the youth of the world. You can't just get a new bike in an hour of gameplay, you know? That's the sort of thing. See ya, by the way. I am going down Yeet Mountain. Population me. That's the sort of thing you gotta save up your allowance. You gotta paint some picket fences in an overly comically idyllic facsimile of 1950s American suburban life. You can't just be given a new bike. Not unless you get hit by a car well on your existing bike. At which point, you should be given a new bike, but it doesn't always work out that way. Depends on the legal code of conduct, wherever you happen to reside. What am I talking about? Rob has a story. He got hit by a car while riding his bike, and then the guy offered to get him a new bike, but never did. I have a similar story, although much less risk of personal injury. We used to have a really, really annoying neighbor who was insanely loud. But, I've been there. So instead of calling the cops, I would go over and knock on his door. And one day we were in the building elevator, and he was in there. And he was like, "Hey, it's you. I was going to get you guys a bottle of wine for not calling the cops on me. And instead, doing the right thing and knocking on my door." Guess what? We ain't ever received a bottle of wine. And I never asked for any kind of remuneration, fiduciary or otherwise, for doing what I did. I consider, for the most part, calling the police in that situation, I would hope it's an unnecessary escalation. I hope that we're all adults here. We can figure this out without the intervention of the authorities. But in a way, I was more offended that he was like, we were going to do something nice for you guys to, show our appreciation. And then we didn't. Because it's almost like they're trying to take credit for doing something when they didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, "Oh, I was going to get you a nice card for your birthday." Well, where's the card, Susan? My birthday was in, September. Mine wasn't. I'm doing a bit right now. And yet, there appears to be no card, Susan. So why even mention that? You don't get credit for thinking of doing a good deed. When people say it's the thought that counts, they don't mean it literally. They don't mean the fact that you thought about doing something nice is what counts. It means if your gift is kind of crappy, just the fact that you went through the trouble of sacrificing a little bit of your own life to get it is what actually matters. It's not literally you're not a good person just because you thought of doing a good thing. By the way, we're not even close on this one. I think we're like 2 checkpoints away. I've maxed out on my my skill. I also never drive on the trail, which is, let's be honest, probably part of my problem. Skirt. It's a tough game. It's tougher than you'd think. We did unlock a new shirt. Do me a favor. Take me to the Redmore Peaks. Did we not have a new trail? Trail 3 of 4. It's locked. I'm a fool. What do we need for this? 24 crashes or fewer, easily done. And that'll probably take us out. But I've had a good time playing Lonely Mountain. It's been nice. Just playing something a little bit more relaxing. Doesn't feel like the appropriate word right now. You know, a little bit quieter, a little bit more serene, and a game without arithmetic, which is also nice because a lot of the games I play are arithmetic driven. Let's just call it like we see it, you know. Dicey was probability, which is in its own way arithmetic because, you know, you're multiplying fractions by each other. He's done it. Isaac is not arithmetic, but Slay the Spire is/was arithmetic. A game that relies on just my preternatural sense of hand-eye coordination and athleticism. That's the real ticket. Hold on, is this a little shortcut right here? I gotta pay more attention to the accents, because look at this. Oh, you can make that. Don't be a coward. That's makeable if you don't get impaled on the tree branch. I keep turning to the left. It's my bad. I told you. I really thought that was gonna work there. Okay, maybe that's not makeable. I thought because there was a little, like, dirt accent there. Maybe it's makeable with a different bike. I don't know, dude. Anyway, again, it's a quiet game, but I recommend it. You don't see too many of these games come out on an annual basis. Games this ilk. Call it an adrenaline-driven meditation. And again, I don't know, the Game Pass thing, I don't understand, okay? I think if it's on Game Pass is like $10 a month. You get access to it for free. So that's a great savings to begin with. But then also, like, the first month of Game Pass is $1 or something, or is free even. So, like, people are getting this in the Outer Worlds for free. I don't know, man. Gaming, the deals are impossible now, and people are madder than ever. I don't understand. 5 years ago, you get 2 games that are 10 years old for free on PS Plus. We were all creaming our jeans. Now every game is free. That's not really the truth, but... and all we do is complain about how expensive they are. You just stick the landing, dude. Rip your knees together. It's not that hard. Flick the trick stick. Don't ever say the expression, flick the trick stick. He's done it. He has not done it. The all-seeing maw of the tree has come for me. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to restart the run because I forgot, to be honest with you, that I was aiming for the lowest number of crashes on this one. And we were doing really well from a no-crash standpoint until I got a little bit mind-flooded, and I honestly, I let my ego get in the way. It's not a positive thing, ego, some of the time. Well, and it's positive and it's negative, right? I do have an ego. I don't think it's bad. You're an idiot. That's the problem. It's bad to have an ego if you're also a fool at heart, but... where was I going with this one? I think ego is good and bad. If you let your ego cloud, you know, your relationships with other people and your perceptions of yourself, that's no good. If you use your ego as motivation to protect your pride, I think that's okay. You know, if your ego is your self-esteem, that's not so bad. I honestly think people put way too much value. I mean, I'm not a business leader, and I'm humble, to be honest, but I think people put too much value on humility in real life. Being braggadocious is a very, very bad trait. Don't get me wrong. Because we all people, yeah, well, you did this. Well, I did this +1. Well, I did it plus infinity. Well, I did it plus infinity plus. That's like petulant child stuff. But, you know, I think, you know, if you got accomplishments to be proud of, be proud of it. You don't need to be, well, I guess, I mean, to be honest, there's a difference between humility and which is being gracious in public, and you know, a lack of self-esteem, which is you know, thinking you and everything you've done in your entire life are worthless. The second one is bad. The first one is actually a good trait. It's very easy to be humble when you're a YouTuber, I think, because people, and this is the truth, even though it is comical. Whenever I meet people at events, fans less so, because they know the real me, the vulnerable side that I show to the camera, and the conversations like this. But when I meet other industry professionals that don't work in the content creation side of things, they all tell me, wow, your job is so hard. What you do is incredible. I can't believe it. And I'm like, not really. Thank you, but mostly it is easier than apparently other people have been. I know maybe you follow some content creators on Twitter constantly talking about how hard it is. I don't want to diminish their experience, but at the same time, you know what it is? There was this very viral tweet going around recently that was like, how a CEO's work week looks like. And they're like, CEOs work an average of 50 hours a week. Here's what they do. And, you know, the joke of the info was that CEOs count, you know, meals as work. They count going to the gym as work. You know, reading emails in what would not be work hours for other people counts as work for them. So yeah, of course you say you're working 50 or 60 hours a week. So is everybody at your company by these measures. But you know, they don't get paid for it or interviewed about it, which is not fair. But anyway, I looked at that the interviews they did with the CEOs, and I was like, man, their work week looks a lot like mine. It can't be that bad. I'm not saying we got, you know, he's done it, CEO level, you know, dividends being paid here. But I was like, in terms of the duties of the job, see, you know, you're your own CEO. You're the boss of your own company. I don't count going to the gym in my work week, though. That's dishonest. I don't even count well, not editing, but, you know, setting the titles, thumbnails, and stuff like that, because I'm usually watching mouth on the other monitor. That's leisure time. I'm mostly being facetious. I'm also mostly confident we're going to make this one happen. Vancouver driving section. Okay, here we are. It's Highway 1. We've made it, okay? Turning into Richmond IKEA parking lot. This is where things get touchy. It's touch and go. Loading zone is occupied by a car parked sideways. Skirt. Miss me with that. Oh, sir, your car door almost hit me. Wow, okay. Well, you know what? It did hit me. But no, we don't need to. Here we go. It's the Aberdeen Mall parking lot where I see one accident every single time I'm there. We're free. We got 20 seconds. No. No, it's not 20 seconds. We got 15 crashes. We got 15 crashes. Oh no, I forgot what section of the game we're at. Just slow your roll on the crashes. We crashed here 70 times last time. That might be an exaggeration, but it might be an exaggeration in the under department. He's done it. And if speed is no longer a requirement, then don't go fast. Embrace your... Oh! We were 5 seconds away, but we at least got the bike part. Anyway, that's probably going to do it for Lonely Mountain Downhill. Fun game. And I hope you've enjoyed our little dalliance here. For now, thanks for watching. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Check out the game for yourself. Apparently, they'll give you $500 to play it. I'm just joking. It's a joke about how cheap and good of a deal Game Pass is. But I don't know if this is on Game Pass. It's anecdotal. I should have done more research. I apologize. Anyway, see ya. It was fun.